Congressman Ilhan Omar is becoming a standard bearer of the Democratic Party. If you want to know what they think, listen to her. But apparently, and this is interesting, she is immune from criticism. We learned that today. Why is that? Well, we're not allowed to have voter ID, we're told, because it's a form of voter suppression. Is that actually true? As a factual matter, as a matter of social science? Well, thank heaven somebody decided to run the numbers on that and check. And we've got the findings for you. The country requires a photo ID to vote, but when American states try to implement the same laws, they are, of course, described as racist bigots engaged in voter suppression. That's fake, of course. It's all diversion. That's a lie, and you should ignore it. But now a new study shows just how fake it is. 2 university professors took a look at voting patterns in 10 different states, and they found that voter ID laws had no effect at all on how much each group was able to vote. It turns out that legal voters are perfectly able to get photo identification, something you knew already, and that these laws are only a problem if you want to vote illegally. But helping people to vote illegally is, of course, the entire point of preventing voter ID laws, as we knew. Harmeet Dillon is an attorney who covers this kind of thing, and she joins us tonight. Harmeet, so it seems like the evidence is pretty clear on this from this study.
Yes, actually, Tucker, these 2 economics professors, one at Harvard Business School and the other in University of Bologna, used data from a liberal progressive database called Catalyst, which works with progressive groups on these issues. And they examined 1.3 billion different data points. And they had data on gender, race, sex, gender, and political affiliation. And they were able to compare the states that had the strong voter ID laws, the 10 of them, against the ones that don't. And there was statistically no difference whatsoever. And so that really rebuts the left's mythology that voter ID laws are directed at suppressing particularly the minority vote, et cetera, on the theory that elderly or minority or poor people are unable to get ID. I mean, you and I know that you can't operate in society today without ID, and we need it for so many reasons. So I think this is really encouraging data.
Yeah, you can't have a job, you can't fly on an airplane, you can't cash a check, you can't get government benefits, you can't do anything. So it was prima facie absurd, but they still wax self-righteous about it. And any attempt to prevent voter fraud is suppression, and you're Bull Connor. I wonder if the right, if Republicans will begin to do something they almost never do on any topic, which is push back with facts against this demagoguery.
Well, you know, you raise a good point, Tucker. We as Republicans tend to become very intimidated when anybody says the R word. Oh, you're racist. Yeah. You know, you're racist. And we really buy into that demagoguery and back down. And I hope to see more Republicans step forward and say, we are not racist. We are trying to protect the integrity of every single vote. You know, I'm an immigrant to this country, and the right to vote is very precious and something that people don't have around the world. And so the way we casually water it down in this country by allowing people to vote who are not entitled to vote, we have 3 million illegal aliens plus in California, for example, is really shocking, and it's time for it to stop. So I'm glad to see this data from not from a conservative source, but from objective professors, economists, and I hope that we will begin to start pushing back on this false narrative by the left.
Well, yeah, because the only reason they keep using it is because it works, and Republicans run and hide every single time. I mean, is there any other reason to oppose voter ID laws except to abet voter fraud?
I can't think of any. And on the flip side, and as these 2 professors point out in their study, the effect of voter ID laws does increase confidence among the voting population in the outcomes of these elections, and we certainly need more of that as well.
Yeah, that is such a smart point. I'm losing confidence. I've always had confidence in our system, but not anymore. Harmeet, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Tucker.